But I do agree with you on Juan Soto. So for me, Juan Soto is my number one. I think he's going to be the favorite. Not only because I think he's this fantastic player that he is, but also this guy was injured throughout the year last year. He still ended up with 29 home runs. Now, did he miss 3 months? No, he didn't. But he did miss a lot of time. I think he was just on like the IL 10 for like 30 days or something. So it seemed I had him last year in fantasy baseball. It just seemed forever. But when he came back, I mean, this guy, his career numbers, Juan Soto is hitting 301 in his career. He's got 98 home runs, so he's going to hit his 100th home run this year. I don't think that's a question unless he gets injured like in the beginning of the year and he's out for the year. Mm-hmm. He's got 312 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, and an on-base percentage, this is huge, of .432. This guy not only doesn't strike out a ton, he walks, he hits for average, and he's got a lot of pop. So my number two guy, I'm going to give it to an actual Dodger, Mookie Betts. If you've listened to me over the years, Mookie Betts is one of my favorite players. I hate that he's a Dodger. I hate it. I freaking hate it. Hate it. Anyway, I love Mookie Betts though. His game he's so good. Now, he has struggled with injuries the last couple of years, so he's going to have to stay healthy. I think he is capable of it. He's proven it in years past, so he is older. I'm sure the Dodgers are going to rest him a little bit. But for the most part, Mookie Betts to me is a guy who could always be in the MVP race. He's got a career batting average of .296. He's got 178 home runs. So basically, he hits 22 home runs this year. He'll actually be in the 200 club. He has 567 RBIs, 146 stolen bases. So we're talking about this guy is a little bit older, but he's still stealing bases in a day and age where no one steals bases anymore. And then he's got an on-base percentage of .373, which is still really good, especially with how many years he has been in the league. So Mookie Betts to me is a guy who we have to watch. But I will say this, we have to keep in mind he has to stay healthy. And I think, like I said, I think he can, but the last couple of years he has struggled with that, so we do have to bring that up. So my number three guy, a guy that I love, I mean, almost every single year, I think he's completely underrated, is Matt Olson. Now, if you don't know who Matt Olson was, he came from the Oakland A's. He was just signed with the Atlanta Braves, signed a huge contract. Matt Olson is a guy who has gotten better and better each and every year. He's a big power hitter, and then he started hitting a little bit more for batting average. And last year, he had some phenomenal numbers. He is a guy, to me, that is completely under the radar and needs to be talked more about. Just basically like what he can do, because Matt Olson, he is a career hitter of .252. He has 142 home runs in his career, 373 RBIs. He has 7 stolen bases. He's actually pretty, I don't want to say spry because that makes me sound old, but I guess he's kind of spry. He's a little faster. He's got sneaky speed that you wouldn't guess. And then he's got an on-base percentage, which I would like to see a little bit more of, but because he is a power hitter, he's a guy who strikes out more. He's a on-base percentage of .348. So Matt Olson is now in his prime, though. He was kind of struggling in Oakland because he wasn't getting the recognition that he absolutely deserved. This kid is 20. I say kid, but he's only like 3 years younger than me. He's 28 years old. He's one of my favorite players. Oh, he hit .271 last year. So he definitely hit over what he normally does. And now being in this Braves lineup, they basically swapped 2 first basemen, and they got younger and still got like the same first baseman. This is a left-handed first baseman. This is a guy who is now younger. I think he has way more power than Freeman. Now, Freeman was more of a guy who could hit for average a little bit better than Olsen, so you kind of drop that back. But you have essentially the same team. Ronald Acuna is coming back. You have Ozzy Albies, who had a really great year last year. And another thing that I love about Matt Olson, last year, 156 games played. That means he missed 6 games all of last year. Crushed 38 home runs. This guy is one of my favorite ball players to watch. I love Matt Olson, and I think he's going to be a real sneaky favorite in the NL MVP.